Hey everybody, it's Dave Mattis with RE/MAX of Reading and the Dave Mattis team, and I'm here today with one of my how-to videos. I have other videos out on my YouTube page about how to appeal your tax assessment here in Berks County. Well, guess what? We are now in the period that you can appeal your taxes. It's between July 1st and August 15th of every year that the Berks County Appeal Board allows applications to come in, and they will then consider your case to see if your assessment is a little bit too high. So everybody, of course, thinks that their taxes are higher than they should be, and I would be in agreement with that, but there's only one way to know, and that is to figure out what your fair market value is. And then once we know your fair market value, we multiply it times what's called a common level ratio. There's a state tax equalization board that puts out a common level ratio every July 1st for the year ahead. So you take your market value times your common level ratio, and if that equation is lower than what your current assessment is right now, not your appraisal, but your assessment, then you actually have a case to file an appeal. So just to get into what the common level ratio is this year, it actually dropped almost 4 percentage points down to 68.5. So it's actually very favorable for people that, are marginal or on the fringe of whether they, had a case for an appeal or not. So last year it was 72.3%. This year it dropped to 68.5%. So here again, it may give you an opportunity that you might have a case for an appeal. And the cool part about filing for an appeal here in Berks County, they're not going to raise your taxes based on you filing that appeal. So in other words, if they discover that your value is higher than you thought it was, they're not going to raise your taxes. So don't worry about that. But the other cool part is that it only costs $25, and it could have ramifications going forward for years to come if you actually have a case, even if it's a small amount. We've helped people with some really, really dramatic amounts, and then we've also had just some small ones, and then we've also had some where the assessment appeal board has essentially kept the assessment the same because they've not agreed with our case. But it's a very easy process to go through, and you can take care of it yourself. You can have an appraisal done, or if an appraisal was done in the last 6 months, there's a number of ways that you can prove your value. But the best place to start is to just contact me, and I will figure out between us and between the market analysis, like what your fair market value is. I will also be able to look up public records very quickly. You can too, but I'll be able to look up public records very quickly to figure out what your current assessment is. So that's pretty much it. In the video, we'll actually have a link to the Berks County Assessment Office so that you can go on, get an application. You can have a couple more questions answered or have all of this information reinforced. The phone number for the assessment office, if you want to call and inquire, is 610-478-6262. There's nice folks. They'll absolutely answer any of your questions. So that's a little bit about appealing your tax assessment here in Berks County. Again, you have a window from July 1st through August 15th, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.